Are they good or bad for your heart? Do they raise cholesterol levels? Should you avoid them altogether? These questions can leave anyone feeling overwhelmed and confused. So, in today's video, we'll dive into the truth about eggs and heart disease. And finally, put an end to the confusion once and for all. We'll explore science, look at some key studies, and debunk the myths surrounding this controversial food. We'll also discuss the main problems that can come with eggs and show you how to avoid them. Stay tuned as we crack open the truth about eggs and heart disease to empower you with the knowledge you need so you can make the best choices for your heart and overall well-being. We want to make sure you get the latest info so that you can live a long, healthy life. We guarantee both you and your heart will love them. Okay, let's go. In 1961, Ancel Keys introduced the idea that saturated fats and dietary cholesterol were the primary culprits behind heart disease. This notion quickly became the dominant message. Despite mounting evidence to the contrary, today the conversation has evolved, with many doctors and scientists now questioning whether cholesterol and saturated fats are indeed the true causes of heart disease. For instance, in the famous 2004 Rotterdam study, researchers found lower rates of heart disease in participants who consumed higher amounts of eggs, cheese, butter, and liver. These foods, traditionally labeled as bad cholesterol foods, have in fact been shown to potentially reduce calcification in the heart. Likewise, we have the French paradox, a whole population of people who regularly eat butter and high-fat cheese, yet have low levels of heart disease. Statistically, only 50% of heart attack victims have elevated cholesterol levels, which implies that the other 50% are within the recommended range, yet they are still having heart attacks. Interestingly, some evidence even suggests that those with higher cholesterol might actually live longer. For instance, a 1992 study by American scientists found that low cholesterol was predictive of increased mortality from gastrointestinal and respiratory diseases. The same research continued to monitor over 100,000 healthy individuals in the US. For 15 years, observing that those with low cholesterol were hospitalized more frequently due to infectious diseases. Similarly, a 2007 meta-analysis of 23 studies published in the BMJ found that patients with low concentrations of LDL cholesterol, lowered as a result of taking statins, are at significantly more risk of being diagnosed as having cancer, compared with patients with higher concentrations of cholesterol. This emphasizes the idea that maintaining low cholesterol isn't necessarily the best approach. There's more to it than that. Now, while cholesterol itself may not be inherently harmful, problems do arise when cholesterol becomes damaged or oxidized. Oxidation occurs when cholesterol particles are exposed to free radicals, which are unstable molecules that damage cells and tissues within the body. These occur through things like smoking, toxic foods, and other factors. When cholesterol particles become oxidized, they disrupt cellular function and integrity, triggering inflammation and contributing to various diseases. Oxidized particles are more prone to accumulate and damage artery walls, forming plaque deposits, causing the arteries to narrow and become less flexible, and ultimately leading to a condition known as atherosclerosis. The point is, rather than just looking at cholesterol levels, we want to look at cholesterol quality. But what about eggs specifically? One trial published in the Journal of Nutrition found that eating 3 eggs per day actually improved the quality of cholesterol in overweight subjects. The researchers recruited 28 overweight or obese men who all followed a carbohydrate-restricted diet, while 50% of them also ate 3 eggs per day. Both groups reduced their risk of metabolic syndrome due to the carbohydrate restriction. However, the egg group also increased their levels of HDL cholesterol. Widely known as good cholesterol, HDL's role is to transport excess cholesterol from the bloodstream to the liver for processing and removal from the body, keeping the whole system working in harmony. So, you might be asking, what makes eggs so good? And are there any caveats? Eggs can be described as a complete food, because they boast a comprehensive nutrient profile, providing a wide range of essential vitamins, minerals, and micronutrients. One of the most notable benefits is their high-quality protein content, including all 9 essential amino acids. These amino acids are crucial for various functions such as muscle growth, tissue repair, and immune function. The complete protein in eggs provides a valuable source of energy and supports the synthesis of hormones and enzymes. Eggs are also an excellent source of healthy fats, including monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. These fats are vital for brain function, hormone production, and the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Moreover, eggs contain omega-3 fatty acids, which are well known to suppress inflammation, aid brain function, and reduce the risk of heart disease. They're also rich in vitamins A, D, E, K, and B vitamins, which contribute to healthy vision, strong bones, and proper nerve function, as well as a good dose of minerals such as iron, zinc, and selenium, which are crucial for red blood cell production and immune health. This is an extremely rich nutrient profile for a single food. And, as if that wasn't impressive enough, eggs are one of the best natural sources of choline. Choline is vital for cell membrane formation. It's especially important during pregnancy, as it supports fetal brain development and may help to prevent neural tube defects. In later life, choline deficiency is associated with a number of problems, including fatty liver disease, kidney and pancreas problems, muscle deterioration, elevated homocysteine levels, and increased risk for cardiovascular disease. Therefore, eating eggs is a good way to get enough choline and avoid deficiency. Furthermore, special antioxidants in eggs, such as lutein and zeaxanthin, promote eye health by protecting against macular degeneration and cataracts. Finally, eggs have a low glycemic index, meaning they do not cause a spike in blood sugar levels, which is important for keeping diabetes at bay and supporting heart health. Okay, that's the benefit of eggs. Next, we'll discuss the points of caution. When choosing what to eat, it's important to consider not only the type of food, but also how it was produced. For instance, pasture-raised and free-range hens produce eggs that are higher in omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, vitamin E, and other essential nutrients, compared to eggs from caged hens. This is because pasture-raised hens can roam freely, forage for a diverse range of food, and engage in natural behaviors. In contrast, caged hens are typically confined to small spaces, unable to move, and solely eat commercial chicken feed. Imagine a human locked in a cage, unable to eat real food, or walk and exercise. That's not going to produce healthy offspring. In the pasture-raised hen, all of this contributes to better egg quality and greater benefits when we eat it. Now, you might be asking, does it really make that much of a difference? The answer is, yes. In 2019, researchers looked at how people's bodies respond to food from animals raised under different conditions. The study showed that eating the same types of food, like eggs, cheese, beef, and butter, from animals raised differently, led to significant differences in important human health markers, including levels of conjugated linoleic acid, omega-3 fatty acids, and inflammatory factors. In other words, if you eat a caged egg, which has very little omega-3, inflammatory markers may increase. On the other hand, a pasture-raised egg, which is rich in omega-3, may actually reduce inflammatory markers. Researchers concluded that the way the animals are raised does indeed lead to significantly better effects on health in humans who consume their products. All of this highlights the fact that it's not a question of are eggs good versus are eggs bad. The question is, are you buying quality eggs? So, the beautiful thing is, the simple choice of buying pasture-raised and free-range eggs can tip the odds in your favor. Similar trends can be found in many foods. Grass-fed beef is known to have higher levels of healthy fats and lower levels of inflammation-causing compounds compared to grain or soy-fed beef. Likewise, wild-caught fish tends to be healthier than farmed fish, which are often treated with antibiotics and raised in crowded conditions. The different diet and living environments results in wild-caught fish having a better nutrient profile and fewer potential health risks. And in a groundbreaking 2021 analysis, scientists zoomed in and identified that grass-fed milk contains significantly higher concentrations of micronutrients such as terpenoids, phenols, carotenoids and tocopherols compared to grain-fed milk. These nutrients are known for their anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antiviral, and anti-carcinogenic properties, further supporting the idea that the way animals are raised has a direct impact on the nutritional content of their products. So, it's an important part of the discussion. To consider how your food was grown, what nutrients or chemicals it received, whether the animal was full of inflammation and stress hormones. And, in turn, what's really going into your body when you eat that food. A simple rule of thumb is to think, was this food grown naturally? Now, for the final, and potentially most important part of the conversation, cooking oils. When cooking, the oil you use makes a huge difference. It's crucial to avoid vegetable oils, as they easily go rancid and oxidize, damaging cholesterol and contributing to disease. Oils go rancid when they're exposed to heat, light, or air, leading to the formation of free radicals and other harmful compounds, just as rust can eat away at a car's metal, causing it to weaken and become less functional over time. Oxidation in many popular oils can cause the oil to break down and become toxic. This is particularly true for polyunsaturated oils, which are more prone to oxidation due to their chemical structure, leading to inflammation and increasing the risk of chronic diseases. These include soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, canola oil, grapeseed oil, and cottonseed oil. To minimize oxidation, it is recommended to cook your eggs with methods that don't require oils such as poaching or boiling. Alternatively, you can use heat-stable oils like coconut oil, which is more resistant to oxidation. Coconut oil can withstand high heat without breaking down or giving off toxic byproducts, making it a healthy stable oil. Plus, coconut oil contains medium-chain triglycerides, which are metabolized differently in the body and have a number of benefits. So, to wrap up, the long-held belief that eggs are bad for heart health has been well and truly challenged by solid research. Studies show that dietary cholesterol and saturated fat are not the true causes of heart disease, that oxidation and inflammation are the true concern, and that eggs can be a safe food. They are nutrient-dense, rich in high-quality protein, and healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which all contribute to overall well-being. However, it's essential to choose pasture-raised and free-range. And when cooking eggs, opt for methods that don't require oils. Otherwise, use stable oils like coconut oil. We hope you found this video useful. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. And remember to like this video and click the subscribe button, so that you can stay up to date as we release new videos. It really does help a lot. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you 12 signs your brain is not healthy and how to improve it. This video is for educational purposes only, so please speak with your doctor if you have any of the following symptoms. 1. Recurrent headaches. Everyone gets a headache when they don't get enough sleep or they're dehydrated. However, if you're getting headaches more than 10 days out of the average month, this is a positive sign that something is wrong. You may be getting frequent headaches because your brain is not receiving enough blood flow and oxygen. This is a very common problem in people with high or low blood pressure, or if they have low blood cell count, which is anemia. 2. Waking up too often. If you frequently wake up in the early hours of the night, you're overthinking and you can't get back to sleep. This is likely caused by high levels of cortisol, a stress hormone which causes the brain to shrink. If you aren't getting enough deep slow-wave sleep each night, the hypothalamus does not have a chance to balance out your stress hormones, which causes more of your brain cells to die over time. 3. Brain fog. If parts of the brain are shrinking because of low blood flow, stress, lack of sleep or insulin resistance, you'll struggle to concentrate and think clearly during the day, particularly in the morning. This happens more often in people who eat lots of sugar and refined carbohydrates. Your brain cells start to resist these carbohydrates and then they begin to starve. You will have problems forming connections and thinking clearly if this is the case. Later in the video I'll talk about how you can improve these problems. Sign number 4, mood swings. Have you ever noticed that you're feeling absolutely fine when suddenly your mood shifts and you suddenly become anxious, moody, or easily triggered for no reason? This could be because your blood sugars are out of balance, and this is causing your brain cells to starve of fuel and oxygen, which is affecting your mood. Also, a leaky blood-brain barrier may allow toxins to enter the brain which can make you more sensitive to stress. This can easily be improved by correcting your diet and using specific targeted supplements for the brain. 5. Depression. In my experience, depression is usually caused by long-term suppressed fear, stress, and anxiety that's become too hard to bear. This can put your brain chemicals all out of balance, like dopamine, serotonin, and acetylcholine. So, you begin to feel lifeless, with no motivation or drive. You'll feel tired most of the time, but there may be a sense of guilt underneath. Studies show that people with depression usually have inflammation in the brain. To get rid of depression, it's important to readjust your thinking patterns and also use herbal remedies to help balance out your neurotransmitters. 6. Dizziness. If you find yourself feeling dizzy quite often, this could also be caused by poor cerebral blood flow to the brain. Dizziness and a lack of balance is more common in people who are low in vitamin B12 or heme iron, and this causes them to have enlarged red blood cells that don't carry oxygen properly to the brain. 7. Anxiety. Panicking about losing your belongings? Persistent fear of the unknown, or overthinking when you should be sleeping are all symptoms of anxiety, which means your brain is locked into the fight or flight mode. Having an overactive part of your brain called the amygdala may be causing you to feel anxious and stressed out. 8. Slow learning. Now, to take in new information, to learn quickly, and to make connections, you need healthy transmission of nerve impulses in your brain. But if you find it hard to make these connections and to learn, you may have a deficiency in acetylcholine. Or, perhaps your brain is sluggish because it's not getting enough energy because of insulin resistance. 9. Can't keep still. If you find yourself constantly fidgeting, unable to sit still, or you have an overwhelming need to move, this could also be a sign that there is a hormonal imbalance in the brain, such as high cortisol levels. Or perhaps an imbalance with dopamine or norepinephrine. This kind of irritation is also very common in patients with AD or ADHD. Number 10 is language problems. The average person loses 20 to 30% of their brain cells as they reach their 80s. But this can happen much earlier in people who have an unhealthy brain. You may begin struggling to understand spoken or written language, or find it harder to communicate as it becomes harder to find the words that you're trying to say. 11. Short-term memory loss. Sometimes, if the brain isn't getting the nutrients that it needs, the hippocampus begins to shrink. This causes you to forget things that you've recently taken in, but your long-term memory may be fine. Regular exercise and loading up on a natural form of vitamin B1 may help to protect your hippocampus from shrinking further. And 12 is being tired all the time. If you feel constantly tired all of the time, even after a full night's sleep, you may have chronic fatigue syndrome. This often happens when your brain isn't getting the nutrients that it needs, or perhaps it's been overworked because of chronic stress or other hormonal imbalances. Be aware that everyone may have some of these symptoms from time to time, but it's more of a problem when they're long-term issues that don't go away. An unhealthy brain can ruin your quality of life and put you at a higher risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's disease. The good news, however, is that the brain is capable of building new brain cells. So, before we look into how you can improve the health of your brain overall, it's important to know why it's not working properly in the first place. First of all, eating too many processed carbohydrates and sugary foods causes insulin resistance in the brain, which makes your brain cells starve and begin to die. High levels of stress and cortisol also causes parts of the brain to shrink, such as the hippocampus, which causes memory and sleeping problems. Not getting enough quality sleep disrupts the brain's ability to repair and detoxify chemicals, which can cause more stress, irritation, and poor concentration. Head injuries, such as a football hitting the head as a child, may cause long-lasting brain damage well into old age. Toxins like heavy metals and pollutants can damage the brain cells as well, causing cognitive decline. And vegetable oils are highly unstable when they're cooked, and they cause oxidative damage and inflammation in the brain. If you have a leaky blood-brain barrier, this may also allow harmful toxins to enter your brain and cause damage. A lack of key nutrients like omega-3s, vitamin D or B vitamins can reduce the number of communication particles in the brain. And poor blood flow because of a circulation problem can starve the brain of its much needed oxygen and nutrients. How to grow new brain cells. If you've experienced some of the symptoms in today's video, and you'd like to improve the health of your brain, there are certain things that you can do to multiply your brain cells and improve connections between the neurons. Brain supplements. I suggest using a high-quality nootropic supplement daily, which contains a blend of natural brain-boosting ingredients. I find that it greatly helps me to focus and think more clearly when I'm writing health videos like this one. In the blend is some pine bark extract and citicoline, which improves blood flow to the brain directly. These are growth factors which help your brain to form new blood vessels and grow new brain cells. 1. Brain training. Encourage your brain to make new connections by taking a course, learning new skills, solving puzzles and reading. Brain training boosts neuroplasticity and helps to revive parts of the brain that may have shrunk. 2. Seafood. Start eating oily fish that are rich in DHA and EPA daily, such as sardines, wild salmon, mackerel, anchovies and shellfish. These provide the raw materials that are needed to repair damaged brain tissue and build new nerves and neurotransmitters. Please make sure that you're getting at least 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep to balance out cortisol and repair your brain cells. If you aren't, I recommend using tryptophan before bed, taking some magnesium, or using a sleep blend like Performance Lab Sleep. 3. Fasting. Eat only 2 meals a day within a strict 6-hour window, drinking only water outside of this time period. Intermittent fasting stimulates brain-derived neurotrophic factor which stimulates the growth of new brain cells. It also makes your cells more sensitive to insulin, helping your brain to accept more glucose in order to make energy. Sunlight. It's vital to get outside and expose your skin to the sunlight to raise vitamin D and melatonin levels naturally. These are both hormones which protect the brain against neurodegenerative diseases and also lower inflammation. 4. Avoid vegetable oils. Avoid foods that contain, are cooked, or fried in vegetable oils such as corn oil, canola, soy, cottonseed, rapeseed, etc. Vegetable oils are highly unstable and they become oxidized, which kills brain cells. 5. Saturated fat. I recommend replacing the vegetable oils with some more stable fats that contain short-chain fatty acids like virgin coconut oil or grass-fed butter. Saturated fats contain butyrate and MCTs which directly feed brain cells with an alternative fuel source. This new fuel source actually bypasses damaged tissues and helps damaged brain cells to repair and recycle themselves. 6. Low carb. Follow a healthy version of the ketogenic diet and cut your carbohydrates down periodically to less than 50 grams a day. This reduces neuroinflammation, improves blood flow, memory, concentration, thinking, and sleep. 7. Choline. Start eating more foods rich in choline, like egg yolks, organ meats, fish, and blueberries. This is a raw material nutrient used by your body to build acetylcholine, a very important neurotransmitter needed for proper brain function. 8. Magnesium L-threonate. If you suffer from severe stress, anxiety, sleep problems, or depression, I highly recommend taking a form of magnesium that can cross the blood-brain barrier called magnesium L-threonate. Ideally, you want around 3,000 mg per day, spread out into 3 doses. This has been shown to enhance learning and promote the growth of new neurons in the hippocampus. Summary: your brain uses 20% of all of the energy in your body and needs exercise and the right nutrients to work properly. If you're eating too many junk foods, you can't sleep, you're chronically stressed or you have poor circulation, your brain may not be getting what it needs, so it begins to shrink and neurons begin to die. You can boost your brain health by getting more exercise. Do you know paying attention to your hands can help you prevent heart disease? Research shows that your hands are one of the most overlooked organs that signal problems with your heart. Recent worldwide statistics show that over 30% of deaths are caused by heart disease. In fact, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, someone suffers from a heart attack every 40 seconds in the United States. You would think that such a deadly disease has many warning signs. A new survey by American researchers found that over 63% of people believe it's likely they will suffer from heart disease within the next 10 years. Even though everyone sees their hands all the time, most people don't notice when they are signaling a serious health problem such as cardiovascular disease. In today's video, you'll learn 5 easily ignored signs and symptoms on your hands that could warn you of heart trouble. Number 5. Painful finger bumps, lumps on the fingers, especially at the tip that are tender, purple, pink and painful are called Osler's nodes. These lumps could be a sign of infective endocarditis, a life-threatening inflammation of the cardiovascular system. A bacterial infection that spreads into your heart and blood vessels could lead to endocarditis. If you notice painful lumps on your fingers, you should not ignore them because doing so might cause irreversible damage to your heart. A report from Wayne State University School of Medicine explains that Osler's nodes develop as a result of inflammation in the blood vessels. This leads to bacterial infection in the dermis, the middle layer of the skin, which leads to increased inflammation in the cardiovascular system. Osler's nodes may disappear on their own within a couple of days, but this does not mean it's harmless. See a doctor for a skin biopsy if you suspect that the lumps on your fingers are Osler's nodes. You can also consult a cardiologist to determine if the bump is related to a heart condition. Number 4. Reddish-brown or purple lines on nails. Red or purple lines underneath your nails are a common symptom of splinter hemorrhages. This condition results from damaged blood vessels on your fingernails, and it could be a sign of heart-related issues. According to the American Academy of Dermatology Association, splinter hemorrhages, alongside fever and irregular heartbeat, could be signs of heart disease. Researchers from the Mount Sinai School of Medicine in New York explained that multiple lines on your could show a serious health problem. Splinter hemorrhaging occurs because of bleeding in the blood vessels underneath your nails. This could be caused by trauma or bacterial infection that has spread into the cardiovascular system, says the New England Journal of Medicine. Number 3. Fingernails clubbing. Even though you probably never heard of the term clubbing, an article published in the American Journal of Medicine says it's a common condition. People who have clubbing experience enlarged fingernails, soft nail beds, and downward curved nails. It usually occurs when oxygen in the blood is low. One of the major causes of clubbing is infective endocarditis, which is a bacterial infection of the heart chamber and valves. While this condition is common in people with birth defects, it can also occur because of heart disease, osteoarthritis, and lung disease. If clubbing is caused by heart disease, the symptoms will begin in the thumb and index fingers. This disease develops quickly, but can be healed easily once the underlying cause has been treated. If you notice your fingernails are bulging, see a physician as soon as possible. Number 2. Weak, tingling, and waxy hands. Amyloidosis is a rare condition that is characterized by numbness, pain, weakness, and wax-like bumps on the hands. It develops as a result of the buildup of an irregular protein called amyloid. When amyloid deposits increase in the heart, it replaces the heart muscles and causes cardiac amyloidosis or stiff heart syndrome. This condition makes it difficult for the heart to function properly, and it might lead to cardiovascular cell signaling problems and abnormal heartbeat. The American Heart Association Journal explains that cardiac amyloidosis reduces the amount of blood that flows into the heart. This leads to a slowdown of blood circulation in the body. Because the blood supply is low, the amount of oxygen your hands receive is reduced, thus causing wax-like hands, pain, and a weak grip. If you notice any of these symptoms on your hands, contact your physician without hesitation as your heart might be in danger. Number 1. Colored spots on the palms. According to the Harvard Medical School, bluish red or brown painless patches on the palms are called Janeway lesions. This condition is caused by blood clots containing bacteria that lead to infection in the circulatory system. Janeway lesions develop and disappear quickly, often within days, which means most people will not notice them. That is why you need to consult a doctor as soon as you see discoloration on your palms to test if you have a heart problem. A study published in Clinical Cardiology shows that 80% of heart-related problems can be prevented by avoiding harmful lifestyle choices. The team adds that a poor diet, being overweight, and cigarette smoking significantly increase a person's risk of cardiovascular disease. This means that you can reduce your risk of heart problems by modifying your lifestyle and paying attention to your body, especially your hands. Are you including heart-healthy foods in your diet? If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe, and click on the bell icon, so you never miss a video. And now, over to you. What are you doing to support your heart health? Leave your comments below. We would love to hear from you. And what happens if you stop eating sugar for 15 days? If you drink soft drinks, energy drinks, eat cereals, candies, ice cream, packaged foods, or even coffee with added syrup, you probably consume higher amounts of sugar. Why not quit sugar for 15 days to discover the amazing benefits of a sugar-free diet? In this video, we go over the top 10 benefits of quitting sugar for 15 days. Watch till the end to learn the one benefit of quitting sugar you probably would not have guessed. Number 10. You will have a healthier gut. If you quit sugar, your gut microbiota would be more balanced. The gut hosts trillions of bacteria, some of which eat sugar and create harmful substances as a byproduct. When excess sugar is present in the intestines, beneficial bacteria decrease. The perfect composition of bacteria is disturbed, and this can trigger bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis and celiac disease. Also, an excess intake of sugar damages the gut barrier function and increases the likelihood of infection and inflammation. This is a syndrome known as leaky gut. Number 9. You will feel less hungry. When you eat refined sugar, your body releases more insulin. Insulin is a crucial hormone that helps to keep your blood sugar levels stable. When your blood sugar increases steeply after eating, your body can release too much insulin, making your blood sugar plummet below normal levels. This is commonly called a blood sugar crash. Symptoms of a sugar crash include hunger, irritability, fatigue, anxiety, headaches, difficulty concentrating, shakiness, and dizziness. People who have prediabetes and diabetes are more prone to experience a sugar crash. When you stop eating sugar, the foods you eat no longer cause an immediate spike in blood sugar levels. So changes in your glucose would not be as extreme as when you were eating sugar. That's why you will feel less hungry and less exhausted after eating a meal. Number 8. You may lose fat. You may lose fat because your blood glucose levels are more balanced and you don't feel an urgent need to eat again after a meal. In a study published in the BMJ in 2012, the results of 68 studies were analyzed. Analyses of this sizable population showed that decreased dietary sugar intake was associated with reduced body weight. Also, a one-year follow-up showed people who had a higher intake of sugar-sweetened beverages had a higher risk of being obese. Number 7. Your skin will look better. Your skin is highly affected by diet. Sugar plays a role in common skin diseases, such as acne. In a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2007, participants who had acne were given a low glycemic index diet, which means their glucose level would be more controlled. Due to lower blood glucose levels, their total acne lesion counts decreased more than control groups with an energy-dense, high glycemic index diet. Sugar also contributes to skin aging by damaging collagen structure. Collagen is the protein that plays an important role in skin repair and protection. This is the reason quitting sugar may give you younger looking and healthier skin. Number 6. Your inflammation levels will decrease. Too much sugar intake is linked with inflammation, which is one of the major causes of chronic diseases. Chronic inflammation can damage tissues and organs, leading to diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, intestinal problems, and even cancer. Quitting sugar can improve your overall health by decreasing inflammation. Number 5. Your blood lipid levels will improve. High sugar intake causes high blood glucose levels, which increase blood lipid levels. Your body needs to lower blood glucose levels, so it produces more insulin. This makes your cells take up sugar and convert it to fat and tissues, including in the liver and adipose tissue where fat is stored. The liver converts excessive sugar to triglycerides and LDL, bad cholesterol, which then go into the bloodstream. When you go sugar-free, your blood glucose levels will be more balanced. As a result, fat production will decrease, and this can help prevent heart disease. Number 4. You will have a lower risk of diabetes. Consuming too much sugar can increase your risk of developing prediabetes and diabetes. A normal insulin response is triggered until the pancreas cells that produce insulin become exhausted. When this happens, the amount of insulin your body produces goes down, which causes your blood sugar levels to go higher and damage your pancreas even more. If you cut sugar out of your diet and eat a balanced meal instead, your blood glucose levels will rise and fall normally, which will prevent abnormal insulin secretion and pancreas damage. Number 3, you will sleep better. A study published in Psychoneuroendocrinology in 2019 showed that patients with prediabetes had poor sleep compared to people with normal blood glucose levels. This study shows that blood glucose levels can affect sleep. An imbalance in blood glucose will disturb sleep, and poor sleep will disrupt blood glucose levels, thus causing a vicious cycle. You can break the cycle by cutting sugar from your diet. Number 2, your dental health will improve. Do you want shiny white and healthy teeth? Quitting sugar can give you healthy teeth by preventing you from getting cavities. In a study published in the Journal of Dentistry in 2014, almost 1,000 adults were questioned on sugar-sweetened beverage consumption. Their dental health was assessed with a dental score calculated based on the number of decayed, filled, and missing teeth because of cavities. Results show that their dental health decreased when the frequency of consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages increased. And now, the number 1 benefit that you may not have guessed. Number 1, you will feel more energetic. Yes, you heard that right. Most people think they would be unhappy and joyless if they quit sugar, but it's actually the opposite. When you stop eating sugar, you will gradually feel more energetic because of orexin, which stimulates the brain and gives you wakefulness. Orexin also stimulates other brain cells to release dopamine and serotonin, which are known as happiness hormones. You'll feel happier when you stop eating sugar. While 15 days may be too short a time to get all the benefits of quitting sugar, the longer you stop eating sugar, the more you'll find you won't miss it at all. Sugar is as addictive as cocaine, and the effects of excess sugar intake, higher blood pressure, inflammation, weight gain, diabetes, and fatty liver disease, are all linked to an increased risk for heart attack and stroke. If you enjoyed this video, click like, share, and subscribe, and click on the bell icon, so you never miss a video. And now, over to you. What benefits have you experienced from quitting sugar or reducing your intake of sugar? Leave your comments below. 8 ways to prevent muscle loss as you get older, in both women and men. After the age of 30, our muscles begin to break down at a rate of 3 to 8% every 10 years. Unfortunately, the less muscle that you have, the more likely you are to catch illnesses and diseases, to suffer from bone loss and arthritis without their support, and to increase the risk of falls and fractures. The more muscle you lose, the less hungry you'll be as well, as this will cause your metabolism to slow down. Although we can't turn off the aging process, you can definitely slow it down by supporting your skeletal muscles. In this video we'll be exploring the best supplements, diet and lifestyle tips to prevent muscle loss as you age. These simple strategies will help you to live a longer life. But more importantly, a life of quality and health. This video is for educational purposes only, so do speak with your doctor if you have any medical concerns at all. Number 1, protein and amino acids. The building blocks of muscle. As we age, our bodies become less able to turn proteins from our food into muscles. This is called anabolic resistance, and is why our muscles tend to break down and atrophy. To prevent muscle loss, you should eat at least 5 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight per day. Animal-based protein is by far the easiest to absorb and turn into new muscle, such as eggs, fish and red meat. Also, if you want to, you can take a supplement after the age of 50 which contains branched-chain amino acids. If you do this, however, make sure that your supplement contains leucine, an amino acid that's been shown to stimulate muscle growth and prevent muscle loss as you age, through the mTOR pathway. Glutamine is another one which is very important to recover your muscles after an illness, excessive stress, or intense exercise. Number 2, resistance exercises. So, to keep your muscles from breaking down, you must exercise them on a consistent and regular basis. Doing things as simple as carrying groceries and walking rather than driving can make a huge difference in the long run. The first muscles that break down are usually at the front of the thigh, which is the quadriceps, and the abdominal muscles. To prevent this, I recommend doing random squatting throughout the day to activate these muscle groups and keep them strong. For example, you could make it a habit when you're waiting for the kettle to boil. Squatting is very good because it mimics everyday movements like sitting and standing, which can improve your flexibility, balance, and metabolism. Push-ups and sit-ups are also recommended, even if you just do 1 or 2 whenever you get a spare moment. Finally, resistance band routines are excellent for the elderly who are unable to lift heavy things or weights. Number 3 is the all-important vitamin D. Inflammation in the body is another very common cause of muscle loss and sarcopenia. This is why it's so important to meet your daily requirements for vitamin D by getting outside and exposing your skin to the sunlight. Vitamin D naturally lowers inflammation to keep your muscles strong and your energy levels high. However, it is a shame that billions of people worldwide are deficient in this because their bodies do not make vitamin D properly because of genetic issues. To prevent this deficiency, take a minimum of 10,000 international units of vitamin D3 per day, which costs roughly around 7 cents per day. Vitamin D also helps your body to resist stress, infections, and bone loss. Number 4, improving your sleep. When you don't get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, your body is unable to use glucose properly the following day for energy. So in response to this, your adrenal glands release more cortisol. This is a catabolic stress hormone, which converts your muscle tissue into glucose. Unfortunately, over the years of not sleeping enough, this hormone causes your muscles to waste away, especially around your legs and your butt, and you tend to gain fat as a result around your stomach. So, improve the length and quality of your sleep by using a tryptophan supplement, or perhaps a sleep blend like Performance Lab Sleep, and I'll put some links to these below the video. Number 5, protein breakfast. Which leads me on to the most important meal of the day, a protein breakfast. Now after not eating for 8 hours during your sleep, your body is in a fasted state, which improves insulin sensitivity. Essentially, your muscles are now more open and they're ready to absorb protein and amino acids so that they may grow. So, instead of eating cereals, donuts and bagels for breakfast, opt for a protein-rich breakfast instead, like an omelet with some cheese, ham, pork, salmon or meat. This protein-rich meal kickstarts muscle protein synthesis, preventing your muscles from breaking down and supporting your overall metabolism. Again, you may also use an amino acid blend supplement throughout the day to ensure that your muscles are getting all of the building blocks that they need. If you're finding this information helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe and turn all notifications on so that I can keep you updated with the latest health and nutrition tips. Number 6, infrared light. What you should know is that your body uses certain hormones to preserve and strengthen your muscles. These are called anabolic hormones, such as human growth hormone, testosterone, estrogen, and pregnenolone. Unfortunately, as you age, you tend to make less of these hormones, and then catabolic hormones take over, which break the body down slowly over the years. However, research shows that you can help to balance out these hormones naturally by exposing your body to infrared light. Infrared light that comes from the sun can penetrate through the clouds, through your clothes, your skin, and even your bone to help boost melatonin in your body. You can get this by simply walking outside, sitting in front of an open flame fire, or using an infrared light therapy box at home. Melatonin helps to keep your anabolic hormones high, and to protect the energy factories in your muscle cells, called the mitochondria. Number 7, minimizing stress. You may have known someone, or heard of someone who had a heart attack because they were under a lot of emotional stress. This happens because the stress triggers the release of cortisol, the catabolic stress hormone that breaks muscles down. This puts a strain on the muscles of the heart and causes other muscles in the body to break down and weaken as a result. So, if you want to live a long and healthy life, you must keep your stress levels down. Take long, slow walks in nature to bring in lots of oxygen and infrared to lower cortisol. You could also drink a cup of lemon balm tea every morning, and try to remove stimulants like caffeine, too much coffee, or energy drinks from your life. Another reason that you may be losing your muscle is because you aren't digesting and absorbing nutrients properly. For example, your body uses cholesterol from food as a raw material to turn into steroid hormones that build muscle. Your body also needs minerals like zinc, calcium and iron to support the production of muscle cells. It also needs amino acids from meats, fish and eggs to form the protein structure of the muscles. But if you can't absorb these nutrients because you have something like acid reflux, a digestive problem or low stomach acid, your muscles will begin to break down. I'd recommend to anyone over the age of 50 to take 2 digestive enzyme capsules after each meal to help them absorb more nutrients. Alternatively, you could use 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar mixed in a glass of water before the meal to help strengthen your digestive juices. Foods that strengthen muscles. Hear me loud and clear when I say this. Do not go on a low-fat diet as you age, as this will speed up muscle loss. Certain fats are needed and are essential to preserve the muscle with age. For example, statin drugs block cholesterol, which blocks testosterone and estrogen, causing your muscles to break down. So, what should you be eating to support your muscles in the long term? Well, firstly, eggs contain all of the amino acids and the building blocks that are used to make muscle tissue. Avocados are loaded with minerals like boron, which help the enzymes in your body convert raw materials into muscle. Bone broth is by far one of the best sources of amino acids and glutamine to recover and strengthen the muscles. Extra virgin olive oil lowers inflammation to prevent muscle breakdown. Cabbage is a wonderful source of glutamine for the muscles. Wild salmon is one of the best protein sources and is rich in anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Oysters are wonderful muscle-preserving foods rich in zinc. Brazil nuts support the metabolism and thyroid hormones, which also play a role in muscle health. Cottage cheese can be eaten in the evening to help release amino acids into the blood and into the muscles throughout the night. And hands down, beef steak is the king of red meats, providing everything needed for the muscles, including coenzyme Q10. Summary: as you age, your skeletal muscles begin to break down, causing stiffness, immobility and weakness. This happens because of inflammation, hormonal problems, lack of exercise or taking medications. However, it is possible to preserve and strengthen your muscles by following some simple lifestyle tips. Eating at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight per day can prevent muscle breakdown. Resistance training like squatting or carrying heavy groceries activates anabolic hormones and satellite cells that grow muscle tissue. Vitamin D supplements and getting outside lowers inflammation to preserve muscle. Getting at least 7 to 8 hours of restorative sleep per night lowers cortisol, the hormone that breaks muscles down. Eat a meaty protein-rich breakfast instead of carbs in the morning to provide the raw materials for your muscles. Infrared light from sunlight, red light lamps or open flames boosts melatonin and balances hormones. Keep your stress levels low to normalize cortisol. And support your digestion using digestive enzyme supplements or apple cider vinegar. There are also some other key supplements and vitamins that you may take if you want to grow your muscles and take this to the next level. For that information, you can tap on the video that I've put on your screen now. Thanks so much for watching another of my videos. I wish you great health. The 8 most efficient ways to lose body fat. Having too much stored body fat is not only uncyclic to look at, but it also causes inflammation and raises the risk of diabetes, joint issues and other health problems. Visceral fat underneath your belly, for example, wraps itself around your internal organs. And this puts a strain on your heart, raising the risk of heart disease. To be healthy, roughly, you should have between 10 to 15% body fat, but if you go beyond 25%, you are considered overweight, and this will damage your health over time. You've already heard by many that you can lose weight by calorie counting and exercising. But you may be surprised that there are more efficient, yet simpler ways to lose weight by shifting your focus on balancing out your hormones like insulin, cortisol and others. In this video I'll be sharing the secrets to the 8 most efficient ways to lose body fat fast. Number 1. Time-restricted eating. The number 1 most efficient way to burn fat is more about when you eat than what you eat. Time-restricted eating is where you eat all of your daily food and meals in a strict window of time. Hands down, the fastest way to lose weight is by eating everything within around a 6-hour window, and then not eating for the remaining 18 hours of the day, with no food or liquid calories in this time period. You can however drink water and add salt for electrolytes whenever you like. The goal of time-restricted eating is to eat your meals within the more active hours of the day, and then let your body rest and digest for the rest. There's absolutely no need to focus on counting calories in this very simple eating pattern. When you don't eat and you're fasting, your fat storage hormone rapidly goes down, which is insulin. And your body begins burning its stored fat to use as energy very, very quickly indeed. Number 2. Remove carbohydrates. If you want to take your fat burning to the next level, you need to start cutting out all of the starches, sugars and the processed carbohydrates. Carbohydrates raise your blood sugars and your insulin hormone, which prevents you from losing weight. You should begin at once to cut out the breads, the biscuits, cereals, pastries, grains, sugars, and potatoes. Eating less than 30 grams of carbohydrates per day triggers a very powerful fat-burning state called ketosis. Your body starts turning its own stored fat into ketones, which are then used for energy. These ketones are amazing, as they also help to improve your brain health, lower inflammation, and promote deep healing at the cellular level. Number 3. Apple cider vinegar. Mix 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar in an 8 ounces glass of water, and then drink the mixture through a straw before your first meal of the day. Apple cider vinegar is one of the most powerful fat-burning remedies that there is, as it helps to control your blood sugars. It also stimulates the release of digestive juices like hydrochloric acid, enzymes and bile so that you can digest your food much better. You'll notice after using this for just a few days that your hunger levels will drop, as it suppresses the hunger hormone called ghrelin. And then if you want to, you can take this to the next level by adding a squeeze of fresh lemon juice and 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, which both support fat loss as well. If you're finding this information helpful at all, please hit the like button, subscribe and turn all notifications on so that I can keep you updated with the latest health and nutrition tips. Number 4 is vitally important for weight loss. Improving sleep. One of the main reasons that people become overweight in the first place is because they simply don't sleep enough. You need at least 7-8 hours of deep sleep each night to keep your cortisol levels balanced. Cortisol is a catabolic hormone that breaks down your muscle and it causes fat to build up, particularly around the stomach. If you want to, you could improve your sleep by using a sleep aid supplement like tryptophan, Performance Lab Sleep or magnesium glycinate. These herbal remedies can help to boost melatonin and human growth hormone so that you may burn more fat and calories whilst you sleep. Number 5. High-intensity interval training. You may think that you need to spend hours and hours in the gym, running or exercising to lose weight. But the actual truth is, if you overwork your body, your cortisol levels will rise and you'll stop burning fat at all. The absolute best type of exercise for fat loss is called high-intensity interval training. This is where you exercise very intensely for short bursts, perhaps for 5-10 minutes, and then you completely allow your body to rest and recover. This type of exercise boosts human growth hormone by up to 450% after you exercise. This starts to break down your fat cells, help you to lose weight, and even help you to grow muscle fast. After this type of workout, your body also continues to burn calories at a faster rate for around 24 hours. The weight loss benefits are coming from the recovery part after the exercise, so it's very important to not overtrain if you want to get results. Number 6, turn off the fight or flight. It's very difficult to lose weight if you're stressed out, anxious, you aren't sleeping, or you're overtraining. When you have high levels of this stress hormone called cortisol, you will feel hungry all of the time. You'll have a tendency to overthink, panic, worry, and wake up in the early hours of the night with an overactive mind. What happens is, your nervous system gets trapped in the fight or flight state, which keeps your blood sugars high and this blocks your fat burning potential. To truly lose weight long term, you need to learn to relax, and use stress reduction techniques. I recommend using box breathing, L-theanine, aromatherapy, cutting out coffee, and drinking lemon balm tea to lower your cortisol. Moving on to number 7 now, which is get antioxidants. If you're anything like me, over the years you've consumed things like alcohol, junk food, sugar, toxins, and all kinds of chemicals from the environment. All of these things cause inflammation in the body, which damages the little powerhouses in your cells called the mitochondria. This makes it much harder for your body to burn fuel, so essentially, it's harder to lose weight. However, you can rapidly lower inflammation by boosting the antioxidant networks through your body. I recommend taking Antarctic krill oil, which contains an antioxidant that's 6,000 times stronger than vitamin C. Our alpha-lipoic acid is also a very powerful supplement that stimulates fat burning and lowers inflammation, and generally avoiding the inflammatory foods that we talked about earlier, and replacing them with berries, leafy greens, etc. Beef, oily fish, extra virgin olive oil, etc. Which leads me on to the very important section, what you should be eating for efficient weight loss. Firstly, wild salmon will nourish you, satisfy you, and help you to lose weight with its healthy fats and proteins. Pasture-raised eggs are loaded with lecithin and choline, which help your liver to break down stored body fat. Capers are Mediterranean pickled flower buds which are loaded with quercetin that activates a fat-burning enzyme called AMPK. I also recommend eating 1 can of whole cod liver per week. This is loaded with omega-3s that nourish you and support fat loss. Grass-fed beef and particularly liver is loaded with conjugated linoleic acid and coenzyme Q10, both which lower inflammation for easier weight loss. Nutritional yeast flakes are full of B vitamins that support your metabolism and reduce cravings. Avocados are full of healthy fats and avocatin B, which has been shown to improve fat burning in studies. Sauerkraut improves digestion, heals the gut, and boosts your antioxidants for faster weight loss. Berries are antioxidant rich and can be paired with full-fat Greek yogurt for a tasty fat-burning dessert. In terms of drinks, cut back on the coffee and drink 2 cups of green tea per day, which contains catechins that rapidly boost fat burning. And drink a cup of lemon balm tea in the morning to lower cortisol and improve your metabolism. Summary: although you can count your calories and lose fat the hard way, which I like to call suffering, you can alternatively lose fat more efficiently by supporting the fat-burning processes of the body directly. Eating the same calories that you usually do, but in a shorter 6-hour window, lowers insulin and burns body fat the fastest. Cutting out sugars, starches, and refined carbs activates ketosis and lipolysis, the fat-burning states. Apple cider vinegar can balance out your blood sugars, suppress hunger and boost digestion. Getting at least 8 hours of sleep per night lowers the catabolic stress hormone cortisol to help you lose weight. Heat training is the best form of exercise for weight loss. Lower your cortisol hormones to encourage fatty acid oxidation. Lower inflammation with antioxidants to help your cells become more sensitive for easier fat burning. And nutrient-dense foods provide the materials used in the fat-burning process. Now, if you feel like you're starving, you're fatigued or you're weak when you're losing weight, you may need a little additional support. Drink a mixture of 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt in a glass of water to boost your electrolytes, and this helps you to keep going and reach your weight loss results. I'd also recommend getting some B vitamins from nutritional yeast to help your mitochondria burn body fat as fuel, and also lower your cravings. For more info on the healthiest foods to eat when losing weight, tap on the video that I've put on the screen now. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. I wish you great.
Top 12 strange signs that you may have kidney problems and how to fix them. Number 1. Swollen ankles or puffy eyes. When your kidneys aren't filtering properly, fluid tends to back up into your tissues, causing swelling in your feet, legs, hands and face. This puffiness beneath the skin often starts around the eyes, creating dark circles and bags to appear. This type of kidney damage is usually caused by high blood sugars or drinking too much alcohol. Number 2. Burning when urinating. A burning sensation when you pee can indicate a urinary tract infection, which may be a sign of kidney problems. When your kidneys aren't filtering properly, they become more prone to infections, which causes inflammation in the urinary tubes, leading to that burning feeling. Cranberry supplements and drinking more water can help with this issue. Number 3. Ammonia breath. If your kidneys become damaged, urea can back up into the blood and get broken down by your saliva, causing a foul ammonia odor on your breath. Essentially, your breath may smell of a strong, concentrated urine, and this is caused by kidney disease. This can also happen sometimes as a result of binge drinking alcohol, which dehydrates the kidneys. Number 4. Foamy urine. Dark, frothy, foamy urine that doesn't dissipate quickly in the toilet is a sign that proteins are leaking into your urine due to having damaged kidneys. This foamy, frothy or bubbly appearance means that the kidneys aren't filtering out these proteins properly. Take a urine sample to your doctor or pharmacy for a quick and simple test to see if protein is present in your urine. Number 5. Urinating often at night. Common in both pre-diabetes and diabetes, waking up many times during the night to urinate can indicate that your kidneys have become damaged from high blood sugars and insulin resistance. When you go to sleep, your kidneys are having to work overtime to filter the extra sugar from your blood, and this is causing you to urinate more often in the night. In men, this problem may also be caused by prostate enlargement, which again is associated with high blood sugars as well. Following a ketogenic diet and loading up on B vitamins can greatly help with these problems. Sign number 6. A metallic taste in the mouth. When your kidneys aren't filtering your blood properly, toxins can start to build up in the body, causing a metallic taste in the mouth. This unusual taste can make your food or drinks taste off or unpleasant, leading to a loss of appetite. This is actually one of the earliest signs of kidney disease to be aware of. So, speak with your doctor and ask for a GFR blood test and a urine test for your kidneys. Number 7 is a swollen big toe. If your kidneys become weaker due to drinking alcohol, genetics, or dehydration, they may stop filtering out uric acid properly, which causes uric acid crystals to form in your joints. This causes inflammation in the joint, usually starting in the joints at the base of your big toe. Sulforaphane, tart cherry powder, and drinking at least 2 liters of water per day can help your kidneys filter out uric acid more efficiently. Sign number 8. Itchy skin. Waste products and toxins can accumulate in your skin when the kidneys aren't filtering them out properly. And this can cause severe itching, where no amount of scratching provides relief, and it may even keep you up at night. If this is caused by a kidney problem, the itching doesn't tend to stop when you take an antihistamine tablet or a lotion. This is more common in patients with advanced stage kidney disease and is usually accompanied by some of the other symptoms seen in this video, not just on its own. Sign 9. Back pain. Some people experience one-sided pain in their back near the damaged kidney. This usually feels like a throbbing sensation or a tenderness below the rib cage on the side at the bottom. And this is often caused by large, fluid-filled cysts developing in the kidneys. Number 10. Kidney stones. Kidney stones are hard deposits made of minerals and salts that form inside the kidneys. They can cause severe pain in the back, side, or lower abdomen, and they're often accompanied by nausea or vomiting. Kidney stones develop when the kidneys aren't filtering out waste properly, leading to the crystallization of substances like calcium, oxalates, and uric acid. Number 11. Restless leg syndrome. Kidney problems can lead to a deficiency in vitamin B1, which is needed to deal with blood sugars and oxidative stress. This deficiency, unfortunately, causes problems with the nerve impulses in your legs, causing an annoying electrical sensation where you have an urge to keep shifting your legs at night. This often disrupts people's sleep and can be reduced by using magnesium glycinate and thiamine as a supplement. Number 12 is all white nails. If your nails have lost their pink tone and they've whitened all over, it can be a sign that you're losing protein through your urine due to damaged kidneys. This is preventing blood from flowing properly to your nails, causing them to lose their color. This condition can also be caused by liver and heart problems, so please check with your doctor if you have this. And finally, I'd like to add one symptom called disliking protein. People with kidney disease often start to dislike eating meat or protein. This protein aversion is the body's way of protecting the kidneys from further damage, since heavy amounts of proteins are difficult for the kidneys to filter. This problem can also lead to muscle loss and weight loss because you aren't eating enough protein. Causes of kidney damage. Now, you have two kidneys, which are vital organs that filter waste, excess fluids, and toxins from your blood. And they also balance out your body's electrolytes. The kidneys play a crucial role in controlling blood pressure, making red blood cells, and balancing pH. Unfortunately, when your kidneys start to get damaged, the rest of the body suffers as a result. One of the most common causes of kidney damage nowadays is dehydration from drinking too much alcohol or caffeine. These diuretics dry out your kidneys and make it much harder for them to do their job. Other reasons that you may have kidney damage include simply not drinking enough water for the kidneys to filter out the blood, high blood sugars because of diabetes or extremely high emotional stress. Eating too many foods high in oxalates like grains, spinach, and chocolate can cause kidney stones. High blood pressure can also weaken the kidneys, and weak kidneys can also cause high blood pressure, so you can see there's a relationship there. Excessive use of painkillers can kill off kidney and liver cells, and untreated long-term urinary tract infections may also harm the kidneys. Finally, smoking cigarettes and vape devices can lower the antioxidants in your body and cause free radical damage to the kidneys. How to improve your kidney health naturally? Firstly, drink at least 2 liters of high-quality mineral water each day to reduce the concentration of urine. This will help the kidneys to better filter the blood and flush out waste products like uric acid, oxalates, and urea. You may also squeeze the juice from 2 lemons each day and add this to your water, and also add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Citrates and acetic acid help to improve the function of the filters in your kidneys, and this can help to dissolve kidney stones and prevent gout flare-ups in the toe. Microgreens. Start to grow some broccoli sprouts, radish sprouts, and arugula sprouts from seeds on your windowsill at home and eat these daily in a salad. These microgreens are packed full of sulforaphane, which helps your kidneys to detoxify harmful substances out of your blood. Avoid dehydrators. If you have kidney stones, kidney disease, or other kidney issues, avoid dehydrators as much as possible, such as caffeinated drinks like coffee, tea, or energy drinks, and alcohol as well. Healthy eating. Cut out refined and processed foods and start cooking your own healthy meals at home. I recommend eating lots of organic, non-starchy vegetables, like broccoli, bok choy, Brussels sprouts, peppers, tomatoes, celery, cauliflower, avocados, and asparagus. If you have late-stage kidney disease, however, please speak with your doctor first, as you may need to avoid certain high-potassium foods. And finally, I'd like to share a few supplements for kidney repair. You can take 5-10 g of astragalus daily to improve kidney function. This ancient Chinese remedy helps to boost blood flow and the filtration rate of the kidney cells. Dandelion root. Take 1,000 milligrams of dandelion root capsules 2-3 times per day to improve urine flow. This herb naturally reduces swelling throughout the body and prevents crystals forming in the urine that can cause urinary tract infections. Spirulina. You may also start to add a blue-green algae that's rich in nutrients called spirulina in soups. This supports kidney health by reducing inflammation and oxidative stress. It can also lower high blood pressure that's caused by kidney problems. And stinging nettle root is another excellent supplement for improving urine flow, flushing out toxins, and reducing inflammation in the kidneys. If you'd like more useful health content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. I wish you great health.
Let's talk about fish. Full of healthy omega-3, protein, and essential nutrients. It can be the secret to a happy heart and a well-oiled body. But, before you take a bite, there's something you need to know. Not all fish is equal, and choosing the wrong fish can actually do more harm than good. So today, we'll dive into 7 fish you should never eat, as well as some of the best fish options, plus important tips to follow when it comes to buying fish. We'll also reveal a common fish that lives up to 150 years. And is very popular on restaurant menus. But we suggest you stay away from this one. Because if a fish is 150 years old, it has been accumulating toxins all that time. And once those toxins get into your blood system, they wreak havoc in the body and brain. We guarantee both you and your heart will love them. Number 7, Tilapia. Tilapia is one of the most popular fish in the United States. However, there's one key reason to think twice about eating tilapia. Its omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. Omega-6 and omega-3 are essential fatty acids that the body needs. However, too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3 leads to inflammation, high blood pressure, and increased heart disease risk. Unfortunately, tilapia is high in omega-6 and low in omega-3. In fact, tilapia has one of the worst omega-6 to omega-3 ratios of any fish. Even more alarming, imported tilapia often falls short of safety standards. The US FDA flagged a number of exporters for regularly sending tilapia with unacceptable levels of harmful chemicals. Some of these chemicals are used to control parasites in fish farms, however they can be carcinogenic and have been banned in many countries. Yet some fish farmers continue to use them and sell them under the radar. Similarly, imported tilapia may contain high levels of antibiotics. The overuse of antibiotics can lead to antibiotic resistance, which is a growing problem in human health. So, next time you're considering tilapia for a healthy fish option, think again. Instead, go for one of the healthier options we'll discuss later in this video. Number 6, King Mackerel. While other types of mackerel are considered healthy, king mackerel should be avoided. One of the main concerns with king mackerel is high levels of mercury. Mercury is a toxic metal that accumulates, leading to serious health problems, such as neurological damage, kidney problems, and developmental delays in children. King mackerel, in particular, is known to have high levels of mercury compared to other fish. King mackerel is a predatory fish. That means it's at the top of the food chain and consumes other fish. Because of this, they accumulate more toxins over time, such as PCBs and other toxins. Even if a chemical has been banned for decades, it can still persist in the environment and accumulate in the fatty tissues of these fish, which is why king mackerel should be avoided. As mentioned, we're only talking about king mackerel here. There are a number of types of mackerel. Other types, such as Atlantic mackerel and Atka mackerel, are lower in mercury and higher in inflammation-fighting omega-3 fats. Atlantic and Atka mackerel are all-round healthy fish. Number 5, Orange Roughy. This slimehead can live up to a whopping 150 years. They don't mature until around 30 years old. So, if you choose this fish, you'll likely be eating a 30-year-old fish, which has accumulated toxins over those years. This can lead to higher levels of contaminants, such as mercury, which, as we discussed, is harmful to humans. While mercury is the most discussed contaminant, orange roughy can have all sorts of other toxins that have landed in the ocean throughout history. For example, a 2004 expedition collected orange ruffles, ranging from 1 year to 139 years old. When scientists analyzed the fish, they found concentrations of mercury, arsenic, cadmium, and lead. These are known as the Big Four when it comes to heavy metal poisoning. When we eat these toxins, they work their way towards fatty tissue, and that's where they accumulate. They attach to fat and cause inflammation, decreasing cell function, causing fatigue, brain fog, depression, as well as causing inflammation to artery walls, which is a major driver of heart disease. Interestingly, one study found that male oranges roughly have higher contamination than females, possibly because females eliminate some of their contaminants when they release eggs. Another concern is that orange roughy is an overfished species, which means that its populations are being depleted as a result of overfishing. This depletion is a major problem for biodiversity loss and the disruption of ocean ecosystems. Okay, we've talked a lot about mercury, so let's quickly run over the other high mercury fish to stay away from. Numbers 4, 3, and 2 are swordfish, shark, and tilefish. These are all known to contain high levels of mercury due to their long lifespan and predatory nature. Before the 1950s, little was known about mercury poisoning until researchers started investigating high death rates in specific populations. Today, researchers know that mercury in fish is linked to increased cardiovascular disease, immune system dysfunction, and endocrine disruption. It's worth noting that the Mediterranean basin is known to have abnormally high levels of mercury in their fish compared to fish caught in the Atlantic Ocean. That's because the Mediterranean is believed to contain around 50% of the world's mercury resources. According to the Journal of Environmental Research, the Mediterranean basin has been studied for over 20 years due to this phenomenon, where fish contain high levels of mercury compared to the same species in the Atlantic Ocean. A similar effect occurs with seabirds, where eggs from the Mediterranean basin contain 3 to 4 times as much mercury as those in the Atlantic. Ironically, this is exactly where the island of Sardinia is located, one of the world's 5 blue zones, where people live the longest and have lower rates of disease than anywhere else in the world. People eat a moderate amount of fish on the island, but it tends to be smaller fish like sardines, anchovies, and cod, which are younger and in the middle of the food chain, thus have lower levels of mercury and other toxins. As we'll get to shortly, those are among the indicators to look for when choosing fish. Now, before we get to our final fish to avoid. Number 1, eel. Eating eel might seem like a delicacy, especially in sushi, but it's not a great idea. You may have heard that raw eel and eel blood is poisonous to humans. While that's true, it's easily fixed with cooking. However, the major problem with eel is that they absorb so many toxins from their environment. For example, a study published in the scientific journal, Chemosphere, found that dye from clothing and textile industries makes its way into the tissue of eels, which is then to be passed on to humans if they eat the eel. Researchers took eels from 91 locations in Belgian rivers, canals, and lakes, and tissue analysis showed that 77% of the sites had contamination from highly toxic clothing dyes. In Taiwan, eel populations have been found to contain alarming levels of cadmium poisoning, a heavy metal from the electroplating industry. This cadmium poisoning is associated with osteomalacia, where bones become soft and weak, as well as renal tubular malfunction, a type of kidney failure. Other studies found flame retardants and plasticizers in eels destined for eating. Finally, eating eel is not sustainable. Many eel species are endangered and their populations have been significantly depleted due to overfishing and habitat destruction, a trend that's accelerating as sushi and Japanese eel dishes become more and more popular around the world. Some eel species, like the European eel, are protected under international conventions. Artificial eel reproduction programs have failed, and as a result, eel populations continue to decline. So that's the worst fish that should be avoided. Now for the good news. There are a number of fish options that are brilliant for health. Let's discuss them now. Healthier fish options. Some of the healthiest fish to put on your plate include salmon, tuna, sardines, anchovies, cod, and trout. These fish are high in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation, lower the risk of heart disease, and improve brain health. They are also a good source of protein and other essential nutrients. Most importantly, all except some tuna are low in mercury and other contaminants. Tuna is a good source of potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B12, but older and larger tuna can have high mercury. To minimize your exposure, opt for smaller, younger tuna, such as skipjack. Skipjack is often used in canned tuna, so keep an eye out for that. And finally, we couldn't make a video about fish without discussing wild-caught and farmed fish. Wild-caught versus farmed fish. Wild-caught fish live in their natural habitat, while farmed fish are raised in man-made environments such as ponds or cages. It's important to understand that the health profile of each is vastly different. Wild-caught salmon, for example, is higher in omega-3 and lower in omega-6, which is important for preventing inflammation and associated damage. Wild caught also tends to contain fewer contaminants, pesticides, and antibiotics. As we mentioned, these can cause problems when we eat them, especially the growing problem of antibiotic resistance. So, we recommend buying wild-caught fish whenever possible. You'll know the difference because wild-caught salmon has a deeper red-orange color. And did you see the whole fish? Wild-caught will have a large fan's tail from swimming against currents, as opposed to farm fish with a small tail from hanging out in a caged pool all its life. And if you're buying whitefish fillets, look for firm flesh with a translucent white color. As a simple rule of thumb, go for young fish, like the ones we mentioned, as they have less time to build up contaminants. After all, a 5-year-old salmon simply hasn't had the time to accumulate toxins, like that 100-year-old orange roughy. So there you have it, 7 kinds of fish you should never eat. Opt instead for low-contaminant wild-caught salmon, sardines, anchovies, cod, and trout, and take care with tuna, opting for skipjack, or limiting your consumption. We hope you found today's video useful. Do you have any questions or tips to share? Leave a comment and share it with others in the Golden Nutrition community. And remember to like this video and click the subscribe button, so that you can stay up to date as we release new videos. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you. High blood pressure is a significant problem and can lead to heart attack, liver damage, and kidney failure. Often people don't know that they have high blood pressure until a certain amount of damage is already done. When your blood is pressing against your artery walls with too much force, you get high blood pressure. Because of this, your heart and arteries have to work harder, which may eventually damage your heart muscle. Furthermore, it might result in the formation of tiny tears in the artery walls, and the accumulation of fatty plaque. Fruit is generally beneficial for people with high blood pressure, but there are a few things that you need to be aware of when it comes to fruit. So today, we're going to explore the 5 worst fruits for high blood pressure, including a fruit you should be aware of. If you're taking any medication, and if you enjoy drinking fruit juice, we'll cover a few guidelines to keep you on the right track. We want to make sure you get the latest info so that you can live a long, healthy life. We guarantee both you and your heart will love them. Okay, number 5, canned fruit. Canned fruit is often packaged in syrup, which is high in sugar and can lead to spikes in blood sugar levels. This can be especially problematic for people with diabetes or other conditions that affect blood sugar levels. In addition, canned fruit often contains added sodium, which contributes to high blood pressure. A study published in the Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health found that eating 2 to 3 servings of fresh fruit daily correlated with a 10% reduction of death. Eating canned fruit was actually associated with a 17% increase of premature death. The study of 6,500 adults was based on survey data, so a causal relationship could not be established. However, experts are clear that added sugar poses an enormous threat to blood pressure and heart disease. Dr. O and Lola Oyabode released a statement saying that most canned fruits contain high sugar levels and cheaper varieties are packed in syrup, and that the negative health impacts of the sugar may well outweigh any benefits. Canned fruits are also often less nutritious than fresh fruits, as they can lose some of their vitamins and minerals during the canning process. Overall, canned fruit is not a good choice for people with high blood pressure, or other conditions that affect blood sugar levels. Fresh fruit is a much better option for maintaining healthy blood pressure levels. Number 4, ripe bananas. Bananas are one of the world's most popular fruits, and have been eaten for tens of thousands of years. However, ripe bananas can be bad for high blood pressure, as ripe bananas are high in sugar and can cause your blood pressure to spike. Bananas that are still green or that are just beginning to ripen contain resistant starch, a prebiotic fiber. The prebiotics, or good microorganisms, that reside in the gut. Eat these indigestible prebiotics. These advantageous bacteria in the stomach are crucial for digesting and have also been connected to immunity, brain function, and other benefits. But, as the banana ripens, the resistant starch breaks down into natural sugars. Because of this, a banana that is more ripe is sweeter than one that is just barely ripe. Bananas are also high in potassium, which can be good for controlling high blood pressure, as potassium dampens the impact of sodium. However, high potassium foods can interfere with some blood pressure medication and heart medication, so talk to your doctor if need be. Likewise, people with kidney issues need to take care with high potassium foods, so, if you're going to eat bananas, eat them while they're less ripe and slightly green. Number 3, grapefruit. If you have high blood pressure, grapefruit can be bad for you if you're taking medication. Grapefruit can interfere with the absorption of some medications, including statins and drugs given to people with high blood pressure and diabetes. Grapefruit is healthy, as it contains a good dose of vitamin C, potassium, and other nutrients. However, it doesn't mix well with medication. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, grapefruit allows a higher dosage of medication to enter the bloodstream, which can lead to side effects. That's due to the enzyme CYP3A4 in the small intestine, which metabolizes these drugs. Grapefruit can block this enzyme, which leads to more of the drug entering the blood. Grapefruit is unique in this way. This applies to drugs prescribed for high blood pressure, some anxiety medication, some antihistamines, and a number of drugs prescribed for heart conditions, as well as various other medications. If you're taking any medication, ask your doctor or pharmacist whether you can safely eat grapefruit. Now, on to number 2, a food that has snuck its way into our lives and is often considered healthy. But, it's not that simple. But, before we get to that, Golden Nutrition would love to give you a free book. The Surprising Truth About Fat and Cholesterol. Now, back to our final 2 worst fruits for high blood pressure. Number 2, some fruit juices. Now, you may think drinking fruit juice is healthy, but juice is not the same as fruit in its natural form. When a fruit is juiced, it loses much of its fiber. The lack of fiber means the sugar in the juice quickly absorbs into your bloodstream, causing spikes in blood sugar levels. Orange juice is the classic example. Oranges are rich in vitamin C and nutrients, and as a result, it gets a reputation as a healthy drink option. However, without the fiber, what you're drinking is essentially a glass of sugar. Tomato juice is another one that experts warn against if you have high blood pressure. That's because tomato juice often contains high levels of added salt, which is bad news for people with high blood pressure. Excess salt can damage the lining of blood vessels. It can also interfere with the body's ability to regulate blood pressure by affecting the function of the kidneys and the hormones that control blood pressure. High salt intake is linked to an increased risk of heart disease and stroke. However, if you want to enjoy the odd glass of juice, you do still have options. A 2021 study published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that cranberry juice and cherry juice may improve blood pressure, and pomegranate juice is believed to help lower both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Pomegranates have been thoroughly researched in relation to blood pressure, and studies on humans and animals suggest that their unique antioxidant profile is beneficial for reducing hypertension and improving artery health. A final juice worth noting is beetroot juice. While it's not a fruit, beetroot juice is worth mentioning because it's so chock full of vitamins, minerals, and unique plant compounds. Beetroot is a fantastic source of dietary nitrates, which are known to reduce blood pressure. Nitrates occur naturally in food, and some can be damaging for health, while others can be beneficial. Nitrates that make their way into drinking water, from fertilizers and farming, are bad for health, for example. But the nitrates that naturally occur in beetroot are incredibly beneficial. Like most places in the world, Sub-Saharan Africa is currently struggling with a high blood pressure crisis and turned to beetroot as a functional food therapy. A 60-day study carried out there concluded that beetroot may be a practical solution for lowering hypertension, so, as you can see, the juice conversation isn't so black and white. Experts generally recommend whole fruit as a much better option, as it contains all the fiber your body needs to prevent blood sugar spikes. And while many juices, like orange juice, should be treated with caution, other juices like beetroot, pomegranate, cranberry, and cherry juice have shown potential benefits for people with high blood pressure. If you're going to drink any of these juices, just be wary of any added sugar or salt. Number 1. Crystallized and candied fruit. While dried fruits may actually be beneficial for the heart, crystallized and candied fruit are a whole different story. That's because crystallized and candied fruit tend to have a ton of sugar and sometimes salt added to them. Dried fruit, such as raisins, have simply had the water removed. Meaning that what's left is the same as when it was fruit, with the same makeup of fiber and nutrients like heart-healthy phytochemicals. A number of studies have in fact found that dried fruit in moderation can support healthy blood pressure. Prunes, for example, have been shown by studies to support bowel health and contain antioxidants that may help to lower blood pressure. On the other hand, candied or crystallized fruit will contain a ton of added sugar, or even worse, high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is a common additive in food today. It's used as a sweetener in processed foods. It's made from the cornstarch that has been treated with enzymes, and is a lot sweeter than sugar. Plus, it's cheap. High fructose corn syrup has been linked to a number of health problems including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure. Some studies have shown that high fructose corn syrup can raise blood sugar levels more quickly than other types of sugar, which may lead to an increased risk of heart disease or diabetes. High fructose corn syrup has also been found to increase levels of triglycerides, which are a type of fat that can contribute to heart disease. But whether candied fruit uses sugar or high fructose corn syrup, it is adding excessive amounts of sugar to your diet. Popular crystallized fruits include ginger or lemon. Crystallized ginger and lemon is made by boiling them in sugar water. For reference, 2 lemons will require around 1 cup of sugar. That's a lot of sugar for a treat that's often perceived as healthy. Popular candied fruit includes apples, strawberries, and cherries. Popularly known as glazed cherries. A 100-gram bag of glazed cherries contains around 68 grams of total carbohydrate, including naturally occurring sugar and added sugar. While 100 grams of raw cherries contain around 19 grams. That's more than triple the amount of sugar that gets into your system. The thing is, people often think that these foods are healthy because they're fruit at their core. Yes, you're going to get some nutrients, but it's important to be clear that candied and crystallized fruit should be treated like candy. Occasional foods that do impact blood pressure and heart health, and can contribute to heart issues. So, there you have it, 5 of the worst fruits for high blood pressure. We have canned fruits, ripe bananas, grapefruit, some fruit juices, crystallized and candied fruit. So, what do you think? Is there anything on this list that surprises you? Do you have any other foods to add? Leave us a comment and share it with the Golden Nutrition community. And remember to like this video and click the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date as we release new videos. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you. Welcome to our video on the best vitamins to stop calcium plaque in your arteries and heart. Calcium plaque buildup in the arteries is a serious problem that can wreak havoc with health, causing issues from fatigue and shortness of breath to more severe conditions like stroke or heart attack. Calcium plaques form as a result of damage to the walls of arteries, which causes the body to initiate a repair process. If the damage is not properly repaired, it can lead to the formation of a stable plaque, which can eventually cause a heart attack if it ruptures or causes a clot to form. Calcium is often deposited with these plaques, which can make them more stable, but also more dangerous if they rupture. This buildup is caused by lifestyle factors, such as smoking or eating unhealthy foods. But fortunately, certain vitamins can have a dramatic impact on improving the situation. We'll explore these in today's video, including food sources that will help you get enough naturally, and tips to maximize their health benefits. Let's get into it. Number 6, Magnesium. Magnesium is an essential mineral that plays a vital role in various bodily functions, including muscle and nerve function, blood pressure regulation, and bone health. Recent studies have shown that magnesium plays an important role in preventing plaque buildup. One study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that higher magnesium intake was associated with reduced markers of plaque buildup in the arteries. The study reports that for every 50 milligrams of magnesium consumed, There was a 22% reduction in coronary artery calcification. Magnesium helps to relax muscle spasms in the heart blood vessels, which can be responsible for high blood pressure. What's more, magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, and it is the fourth most abundant mineral in the body. Magnesium deficiency is relatively common, with some estimates suggesting that around 48% of adults in the United States do not meet the recommended daily intake. Good food sources of magnesium include nuts, seeds, avocados, legumes, leafy green vegetables, and fatty fish like salmon. So make sure you're getting plenty of these to keep your arteries and heart happy. Number 5. Vitamin E. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin that is known for its antioxidant properties. Recent studies have shown that vitamin E may also play a role in reducing calcium plaque in the heart and arteries. One study published in the International Journal of Molecular Science found that vitamin E supplementation may improve endothelial function, which is a key factor in the development of atherosclerosis. Vitamin E works by preventing the oxidation of low-density lipoprotein, or LDL cholesterol. When LDL cholesterol is oxidized, it can lead to the formation of calcium plaque in the arteries. Vitamin E helps to prevent this oxidation, which in turn may help to reduce calcium plaque buildup. It's also important for protecting your vision, skin health, and cognitive brain function as you age. Vitamin E can be found in a variety of foods, including nuts and seeds, leafy greens, fruits and vegetables. Particularly rich sources include almonds, avocado, red peppers, spinach, beet greens, pumpkin, asparagus and mangoes. These are some of the most abundant vitamin E foods. However, the fact is that vitamin E is present in many plant-based foods. So unlike some of our other vitamins, you don't need to worry too much about vitamin E deficiency, as long as you're eating a healthy and balanced diet with plenty of plant-based foods. Number 4. B vitamins. B vitamins are a group of water-soluble vitamins that play important roles in various bodily functions, including energy metabolism, nerve function, and the formation of red blood cells. In particular, vitamin B6, vitamin B12 and folate have been shown to be extremely important for heart health. That's all because of a problematic amino acid called homocysteine. Studies show that high levels of homocysteine are associated with an increased risk of heart disease. Vitamin B6, vitamin B12, and folate work together to break down homocysteine in the body, thereby reducing the risk of heart disease. Additionally, vitamin B1 has also been shown to repair blood vessel function and slow the development of artery damage that causes calcification. Food sources of B vitamins include meat, fish, poultry, eggs, dairy products, leafy green vegetables, and fortified greens. Vitamin B12 is mainly found in animal products, meaning that fruits and vegetables don't contain any. So vegetarians and vegans may need to supplement their diet with vitamin B12 or eat B12 fortified plant milks and cereals. Although, there is one super nutritious, non-animal food that naturally contains B12. Can you guess what it is? It's not a vegetable, fruit or nut, it's a fungus. That's right, some varieties of mushroom do contain B12, making them an excellent staple food for vegetarians. Number 3. Potassium. Potassium plays a critical role in maintaining fluid balance within cells, as well as proper functioning of muscles and nerves. It's important for healthy muscle contraction, including the heart muscle. Research has shown that adequate intake of potassium may also reduce the risk of heart disease by helping to prevent the buildup of calcium plaque in the heart and arteries. Potassium works by counteracting the effects of sodium, which can contribute to high blood pressure and the development of calcium plaque in the arteries. Additionally, potassium helps to relax blood vessels and improve endothelial function, which increases blood flow. Food sources of potassium include fruits, especially bananas, oranges, avocado, and cantaloupe. Vegetables like spinach, broccoli, sweet potatoes, beets, and tomatoes, as well as beans, lentils, nuts, chicken, and salmon. It's worth noting that the potassium content of fruits and vegetables can be reduced when you soak, boil, or boil. So in order to increase potassium intake, include some raw or slightly cooked in your regular diet. Now, it is important to know that individuals with kidney disease or those taking certain medications, such as diuretics, may need to limit their potassium intake. Additionally, individuals with Addison's disease or other adrenal gland disorders may need to consume extra potassium. And as we discussed, soaking, steaming, and cooking have been shown to reduce potassium levels. So potassium-sensitive people are often recommended to take these steps. Some of the foods we discussed in this section are some of the best foods for most health categories. So make foods like avocado, orange, and broccoli daily features in your diet. Number 2, Vitamin D. Vitamin D plays a critical role in calcium homeostasis and bone health. It helps to regulate the absorption of calcium and phosphorus in the gut, and promotes their deposition in bones. It's like a traffic controller, moving calcium out of harm's way, where it can build up in the arteries, and into the bones where it's needed to strengthen bones. Preventing bone health problems like osteoporosis, vitamin D deficiency is strongly associated with an increased risk of arterial calcification, and it has important immune, modulatory, and anti-inflammatory effects, making vitamin D an essential vitamin for all-round health. Food sources of vitamin D are less common than other vitamins, but include fatty fish, such as salmon and tuna, fortified dairy products, and fortified cereals. Of course, the most common way we get vitamin D is from the sun. When we expose our skin to sunlight, our bodies naturally produce vitamin D. What's more, research published in the journal Photochemistry and Photobiology found that when the active compound in leafy greens chlorophyll is exposed to light through the skin, it improves the body's ability to regenerate coenzyme Q10. Coenzyme Q10 is an antioxidant that is heavily linked to reducing heart disease, which our body produces less of as we age. So as you can see, vitamin D has a number of domino effects on different processes in the body. For all of these reasons, many cardiologists recommend regular sun exposure for short periods of time. Not enough to cause sunburn, but enough to allow your body to produce vitamin D. Dr. Jack Wolfson recommends regular moderate amounts of sun exposure to the bare chest. And Dr. Michael Greger suggests it may be worth eating a salad and then getting some rays, in order to not only reap the rewards of vitamin D, but to also promote the regeneration of heart-healthy coenzyme Q10 at the same time. So eat your spinach and soak up some sun and enjoy the knowledge that vitamin D is making a huge difference in keeping everything working properly. Number 1, Vitamin K. Vitamin K is one of the most important vitamins for heart health. Vitamin K is known to reduce arterial stiffness, slow progression of vascular calcification, lower the incidence of diabetes and coronary artery disease, and ultimately decrease cardiovascular mortality overall. Like vitamin D, it plays a role in regulating calcium, promoting strong bones and healthy heart and blood vessels. Vitamin K-dependent proteins, such as matrix GLA protein, or MGP, help to prevent calcium from depositing in the walls of arteries, where it can lead to plaque formation. One study found that people who consumed high levels of vitamin K were 21% less likely to be hospitalized due to atherosclerosis or plaque buildup, compared to those who consumed the least. There are two main forms of vitamin K, K1 and K2. K1, also known as phylloquinone, is found in green leafy vegetables, like spinach, kale, broccoli, etc., Brussels sprouts and cabbage. K2, also known as menaquinone, is found in fermented foods, like cheese and natto, as well as in some meats and eggs. While vitamin K is important for heart health, it's also important to note that people taking certain medications, such as blood thinners like warfarin, need to be careful with vitamin K intake, as it can interfere with the medication's effectiveness. If that's you, your healthcare provider will likely tell you to stay consistent with the amount of vitamin K foods you eat, and avoid large spikes. So there you have it, the 6 best vitamins to stop calcium plaque in your arteries and heart. Magnesium, vitamin E, B vitamins, potassium, vitamin D, vitamin K. What do you think? Do you have any questions or tips to share? Leave a comment and share it with others in the Golden Nutrition community. And remember to like this video and click the subscribe button, so that you can stay up to date as we release new videos.